Snow covered the small American town of Maplewood like a quiet promise, softening the streets, the rooftops, and even the loudest worries. Inside a modest blue house at the end of Pine Street lived a boy named Oliver, who was 8 years old and felt much older than he was that winter. His room was warm, filled with new toys, glowing screens, and shelves that sparkled with things his parents had bought him over the years. Yet, on that snowy evening, Oliver felt an ache he couldn't explain. He sat on his bed, listening to the wind whistle outside, wondering why happiness felt thinner than it used to, like hot chocolate that had been watered down without him noticing. As the night grew deeper and the snow fell harder, Oliver heard something strange beneath the quiet hum of the heater. At first, it sounded like the house settling, or maybe the wind slipping through a crack in the window. But then the sound returned, softer and sadder, like a tiny cry trying not to be heard. Oliver held his breath and listened closely, his heart beating faster with each second, until he realized the sound was coming from his closet, a place he hadn't opened in months. Wrapped in his blanket, he slowly walked across the cold floor and pulled the door open, expecting darkness and dust, but instead finding something that made his chest tighten. Inside the closet were toys he had once loved more than anything, stacked and forgotten like old memories pushed aside. A teddy bear with worn fur leaned against a toy truck missing a wheel, while a wooden train lay scattered beneath a doll with tangled hair and faded paint. The crying grew clearer now, filling the small space with sadness that felt heavy and real. Oliver stepped back, shaking his head, trying to tell himself it wasn't possible, until the teddy bear lifted its head and spoke in a quiet, trembling voice that carried years of waiting inside it. "We didn't think you'd ever hear us again," the bear said gently, its button eyes reflecting the dim light. Oliver's mouth went dry as fear and wonder mixed together inside him, yet something deeper than fear kept him from running away. The toy truck shifted slightly, its broken wheel scraping the floor, and said, "We only cry when we're truly forgotten, and tonight, you finally listened." Oliver felt tears rise in his eyes as memories flooded back. Memories of holding that teddy bear during storms, racing the truck across the floor, and building long adventures with the wooden train when the world felt safe and simple. "I didn't mean to forget you," Oliver whispered, his voice breaking as he knelt in front of them. "I just grew up a little, and there were so many new things." The doll looked at him with gentle sadness and replied, "Growing up is not the problem, Oliver. Forgetting gratitude is." Those words settled deep in his heart, heavier than the snow piling up outside, and for the first time, Oliver understood that love doesn't disappear when it's ignored, it waits, hoping to be remembered. That night, Oliver stayed awake, far past his bedtime, sitting on the floor of his room, with the old toys gathered around him. They told him stories of the joy they once shared, of laughter echoing through the room, and adventures that made ordinary days magical. Oliver listened quietly, feeling regret and warmth twist together inside his chest, and when sleep finally came, it was gentle and thoughtful, like the world was giving him time to understand something important. Morning arrived with pale sunlight bouncing off the snow, filling Oliver's room with a soft glow. He woke up feeling different, as if his heart had grown wider while he slept. Without hesitation, he cleaned the dust from the toys, fixed the truck's wheel with tape, and placed the teddy bear back on his bed where it belonged. The toys didn't cry anymore. Instead, they seemed peaceful, as if simply being seen again was enough. As the days passed, Oliver began noticing things he had never paid attention to before. At school, he saw kids sitting alone, teachers who looked tired, and classmates struggling quietly with small problems no one else seemed to notice. The same feeling he felt in his closet returned, guiding him gently, and he started offering help, sharing smiles, and saying thank you more often. Each small act made his heart feel lighter, like snow melting under warm sunlight. One evening, Oliver asked his parents if they could donate toys to children who didn't have any. Together, they carefully chose toys to give away, packing them with care and respect. At the shelter, children's faces lit up as they hugged the toys tightly, and Oliver watched with quiet joy as the teddy bear found a new pair of loving arms. He understood then that gratitude doesn't mean holding on forever. Sometimes it means letting go with love. When winter finally began to fade and snow slowly disappeared from the streets, Oliver carried his lesson with him. He knew now that listening, caring, and being grateful could turn forgotten things into treasures again. Love, he learned, never really fades, it waits patiently for someone to hear it. And if this story warmed your heart even a little, remember to listen closely to the world around you, because kindness speaks softly. Like this video, subscribe to our Kids Story channel, and share it with someone who believes that small hearts can make big changes. More gentle stories and meaningful lessons are waiting for you.